All right, guys, we got Politico. Trump picks National Institute of Health critic Jay Battacharya to lead the agency. The Stanford University physician and economist known for opposing COVID-19 lockdowns has been tapped to lead the $47 billion biomedical research agency. Health officials failed the public during the pandemic by supporting lockdowns, school closures, and mandates, Bhattacharya wrote, adding, yet officials continue to deny their own culpability, avoiding a long look in the mirror. Whoa, that's our new National Institute of Health pick? Are you serious? Yo, I love that. I love hearing that. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I got a couple notes on this guy that we're going to look into in a second. This is Politico. But whoa, right off the bat. Yeah, dude. Jay and RFK Jr. will restore the NIH to a gold standard of medical research as they examine the underlying causes of and solutions to America's biggest health changes, including our crisis of chronic illness and disease, Trump said in a statement announcing his choice. In a post on X, Bhattacharya wrote he was honored and humbled by President at Real Donald Trump to nomination of me to be the next NIH director. Bhattacharya said he'd work to reform American scientific institutions so that they are worthy of trust again and will deploy the fruits of excellent science to make America healthy again. Echoing one of Kennedy's themes, Kennedy called the Bhattacharya appointment spectacular on X. This is his official appointment? The rhetoric is amazing. The rhetoric is wonderful. I love hearing this. Like this is pro-choice, pro-move, dude. Other supporters of Bhattacharya's lockdown critique also praised Trump's pick. Senator Rand Paul, I love Rand Paul, not as much as Ron Paul, who sparred with the top NIH officials, including Fauci. I don't like Fauci. during the pandemic, and plans to re-examine the U.S. response to COVID-19 when he becomes chair of the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee next year, congratulated Bhattacharya on X and said he has no doubt that he would lead the bipartisan reform the NIH needs. Wow, so Rand Paul, how much of these positions require resigning from Congress, though? Because we cannot feel like we took the executive branch or like we're starting to take the federal government executive branch and start leaving the halls of Congress and like the House and the Senate completely in a power vacuum. You know, like, I mean, I'm hoping there's people stepping up to carry these torches so that way we're not just consolidating all of our power into one administration and then throwing out that administration later when it comes time for a new election. Oh, okay. So, Chris Meekins, a HHS Deputy Assistant Secretary during Trump's first term, said Bhattacharya was an unconventional choice because he does not work in the hard sciences, but that the NIH was badly in need of some reforms and may take someone from the outside to get the agency back on track. I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, you got a lot of people in there that are focused on their job. They're in the weeds. It's a compartmentalized system. You want someone that sees the 30,000 foot overview to come in and make some reforms and get everybody back focused in the right direction. It's really easy to take a group of compartmentalized people that are not looking at the big picture and then steer them off to your own agenda. And so I could definitely see how that's a problem that needs to be resolved. Bhattacharya was one of the main authors of the Great Barrington Declaration, the open letter published in October 2020 and signed by thousands of public health scientists that argued against lockdown measures in favor of a hands-off approach to the pandemic, relying on letting low-risk people build up immunity in order to establish that herd immunity, a suggestion that the then NIH director Francis Collins called dangerous. Here's the thing. They had to redefine herd immunity to try to establish herd immunity as being something dangerous. They had to redefine it. So no, I'm totally with this. No, herd immunity absolutely is natural exposure. Herd immunity is not exclusively found through vaccination. And your immunity through vaccination, okay. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say here, okay? But there have been studies that have demonstrated that natural immunity lasts 25 times longer than herd immunity, or up to 25 times longer than herd immunity that I've seen personally. So that is what forms my personal opinion. So, okay. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. That's great. I love his rhetoric. His rhetoric is incredible. Oh my gosh, dude, that's his official pick. That's his official pick. I got a couple notes. On here that I want to read that kind of goes over this dude. But, his background, his history, off the bat, it sounds great, right? But let's figure out who Jay Battacharya is. I feel like I nailed it. I feel like I've nailed that last name. I really feel like I got that down, bro. Hold on, let me fix this. Let's look at a little. There we go. I really feel like I got that down. Okay, so this is my debrief on Dr. Jay Battacharya. All right, let's see. Let's figure him out. Full name, Jayanta Bhattacharya. He was born in 1968 in Kolkata, India. His education is from Stanford University. He got a BA and an MA in 1990 and an MD in 1997 and a PhD in economics in 2000. So this dude is like, wow, this dude really, really enjoyed school. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed school too. I'm just the type of person where I really enjoyed teaching myself. I felt I really like having my own perspective, and my teachers were constantly trying to push their perspective onto me, and I would get negative validation for going outside of those bounds. And so that just kind of pushed me outside that whole realm. But, his professional credentials: professor of medicine at Stanford University, director at the Center for Demography and Economics of Health and Aging. Wow. So he's got expertise in the medical field and then economics, and then he combines those principles in action in his career. That's pretty wild. So I could see why he's a Trump supporting conservative with that economic background. Very interesting. His specialties are in health economics, public health policy, and research on vulnerable populations and health disparities. This is perfect. Okay, hold up. While I'm reading this, I forgot. Let me go ahead and get the Wikipedia up for the visual continuity. Okay, because that's kind of where I pulled all these notes from anyway. so that way, you know what I mean? And let's see. His notable work was work on the Great Barrington Declaration in October of 2020. He co-authored the controversial document that advocated for focused protection for vulnerable groups during COVID-19, which means letting people that are not part of those vulnerable groups be free to live their lives. Okay? You had to change the definition of a pandemic to even get it to fit to begin with. Like, no, I'm not okay with this. Like, dude, I love this guy. Relaxing restrictions for low-risk populations. That's okay. I could have just kept reading. Relaxing restrictions for low-risk populations to build herd immunity. Absolutely. The declaration drew support and significant criticism to its approach to pandemic management. Yeah. Significant criticism from neoliberal, neo-feudalist technocrats, bro. I'm so tired of these people that are like, how can we work with big tech? What excuses can we find? What money can we take from Bill Gates to fund some sort of technology that's going to track and monitor everybody that we can use to control everybody and prevent them from having their own opinions and doing their own thing? Like, screw you. Get out of my face. Get out of my life, bro. Let's see. His critique of COVID-19 policies. He opposed widespread lockdowns and he opposed school closures. Good. He advocated for alternative approaches to mitigate economic and social harms. Yes. Dude, the studies before the lockdowns indicated that at most you were at risk of 2 million people being exposed to and dying of COVID-19 worldwide, right? The exposure and the risk of people dying due to starvation, due to economic collapse and the collapse of supply chains due to lockdowns was literally exponentially more than that. Why the hell were our politicians looking at these numbers and deciding to choose the option that risked more lives? Why? Nomination to lead NIH. Okay, yep. He was just recently nominated to oversee NIH. His supporters. He's viewed as a voice for innovative and critical approaches to public health policy. And then the establishment argues that his policy approaches are risky and inconsistent with the broader health consensus, which is really just an appeal to the bandwagon fallacy. Consensus does not equate to correct at all. And do not buy it when someone tries to sell you that, okay? Logical reasoning, systems thinking, and a nuanced understanding of the details. You pair that up with concrete research, okay? That's how you form your opinions. Consensus has nothing to do with any of that, all right? Consensus is not information. Consensus is, most everybody agrees. You know how many times I was in school and everybody in the room had one opinion, I had the other, and it ended up being that I was correct, bro? It's not like, that sounds narcissistic. I was wrong a lot, okay? I was wrong a lot in life. Believe me, I've been wrong in life far more than I've been right. I'm just saying, consensus does not equate to correct. Anyway, so that's my 2 cents on this issue, guys. I really appreciate you guys for joining me. Jay Battacharya seems like an awesome pick. I'm glad that he's the official pick. I can see why for some of those more sensitive ones, you shoot high, go low. But no, Len, let's lock this dude in, bro. I like this guy. Let's have some real effing change in our halls of government, please. Also, here in Rand Paul, as being another potential pick. Where was that? Right here in Rand Paul over here, who is going to become chair of the Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee next year. It's just a committee in Congress. Cool. So he's not leaving Congress. Okay, cool. But that is reassuring to hear that him becoming the chair of one of those committees, that's a move up, more influence, right? And these are people that we feel are classical liberals. I feel like Rand Paul is a classical liberal. I want to see more influence of those classical liberal principles and values in our halls of government. That's really important to me. But anyway, hey, thank you so much for joining me with this, guys. I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully I got a couple more I can do today. So, hey, I appreciate it. Have a great one, guys.